Oh, we should be about to start here. Both racers have readied up.
Yeah, and we'll get to see what item we get in the escape, of course, with this B29 randomized swords version of the randomizer. The uncle doesn't just have a sword, he has some kind of weird other weapon, which, hopefully for our runner's sake, is not bombs. Most people don't like the bombs escape very much.
Alright, so we start off with some rupees. Let's see, there's 7 possible items. Which one will they get?
I'm always a big fan of the bow showing up here, both because it lets you do Eastern early, and because the bow is just really fast for the escape, being able to two-shot most of the guards, or one-shot them.
Yeah, I've actually become a bigger fan of this Kina Samaria.
Oh,
we're getting bombs.
Well, bombs escape. Yeah,
bombs is definitely the roughest of the ones.
Supercar even pointed out that this was their least favorite item to have to do the escape with, so we'll have to see. I'm sure most people at this point have practiced their bombs escape a fair bit, just because you're so afraid of getting into the tournament race and potentially losing a whole bunch of time, because if you have to, save and quit to get some bombs back and sell this cell, it's just catastrophic. So we'll have to see how it goes. It can go, well, I wouldn't say fast in any sense. Can the bombs escape ever be fast? But it can go alright, or it can go very slowly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the only advantage to bombs is you don't have to worry about the back as long as you keep hold of one bomb.
Yeah, that's true. It'd truly be the worst if you both got the bombs escape and got trolled really badly by the key rat and had to still look for a bomb, but both players dealing with the first key guard pretty much in the same fashion. Supercar's got a little bit of a lead, but this is, if that key rat runs at him in a stupid way and he misses his first bomb, it's just going to be terrible. So this difference between the runners doesn't mean too much right now.
Yeah, when it comes to the key rat, I'm just a fan, in a way, of the kamikaze strategy. Just hold a bomb and run right at him. Take the damage if you can take it.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Actually, because of all these weird weapons in the escape, you get to learn what's actually under some of the other pots in the sewers section. There is a heart in the room before it, so if you are a fan of that strat, there's one pot that has a heart there, so you can get it. Looks like Bite Size has a better time of this second blue guard here. Supercar's got him set up now so that he'll take damage off the middle of the room, but you can see why the bombs escape is a big hassle, because setting them up to die fast is just terrible. But they're both through that now. Bite-sized BK with 5 bombs left, and Supercar only at 4, so not the most fun amount of bombs remaining, but that green guard is being a little bit of a jerk to BK.
Yeah, BK using the pots. Definitely preferred strategy here. Save you some bombs. Well, you get a little bit of a refill.
Yeah, I'm not even sure that the pots are any slower when you only have bombs as your weapon. I know when you have the sword or the bow or the hammer, you might as well just go fight the guard, maybe throw one pot, but I don't actually know how much damage a bomb does to that guard. If it's just a master slash, then that's the same as a fighter slash, which would be pretty terrible. So you always see people go for the double pot when they have a bomb escape. And, getting some bombs as a refill there in that chest is pretty good, because it should be pretty comfortable, even if the key rat is a big jerk and dodges a bomb or two. They've got plenty.
Alright, we're coming upstairs. Probably won't see much more farming of enemies. They're both at full health too, so that's good going into the dark area.
Yeah, that's nice. There's that one guaranteed heart, but they'll be able to walk around that pot because they won't even need it. Unlikely that they'll get hit by guards at this point. Well, at least for BK. Supercar might run into one of these guards in the hall because he can be a jerk, but nice dodges there. Doesn't take any damage. I'll be going towards the dark sewers soon. So not much interesting in the way of items. All the chests were just rupees or bombs so far. So we'll be holding out for, maybe the back escape or maybe Kakariko before we start getting something that'll lead us somewhere.
Yeah, very, very light so far. Little surprising. Usually you see something big in the escape sequence, but we do still have a few chests to go.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the map yet here. Full heart, not bad. Definitely, you won't say no to a full heart early on in the game, but they would like something. Boots or a weapon or something nice.
Yeah, I mean, as effective as bombs can be, you don't like using them as your primary weapon for too long.
Alright, so here comes the key rat for BK, and going for this kamikaze strat you mentioned, but the rat runs directly into him, makes him drop the bomb, and then he misses his next throw on it. The rat is running away. It's so fast. He's got the right rat. Oh no, now there's two of them. Which one happened? Oh my good gosh. Supercar's having trouble too. This is the true darkness of the bombs escape. Oh,
there's the key.
He's got one bomb left, and he got the rat. And Supercar managed to pull ahead just from that. Holy smokes!
So BK does have to be careful here.
Oh no! Okay, the rat stopped. Thank goodness. Okay, Power Glove. And the map back here, so they will check the Sanctuary chest, but man, it's really fortunate that BK had that one bomb left, because the Power Glove being back there means that revisit would have been just horrible, so getting that key rat down just in time.
BK has to be careful. He's at probably a quarter. Oh no!
I think that'll take him back to the start of the sewers part, but he at least doesn't have to kill the rat this time, so it's a little... Wait, what? Oh, never mind. I thought he was in Sanctuary for a sec because the room looks the same, and I was looking at Supercar, and I was like, how did he go forward? But no, he does have to walk through this again.
The sad part, though, is that in those pots right in front of those chests in the back room, there's hearts.
Yeah, of course, it is slightly faster not to lift them, but I guess in that case, it would have been probably a good decision to get that one heart out of it. We did get a map check upon reaching the end of the escape really quickly from Supercar there, and it looked like Hera was the red pendant, and I believe Desert and Eastern were just normal crystals.
Yeah, that's about what I saw.
Oh, ooh. 20 rupees on the hoarder there.
Very nice drop.
We'll get a look at the Lumberjack ledge. Give us a hint about whether Aghanim is required or not, and that's just 10 arrows, so 1 strike against Aga. 2 strikes since we already have the Power Glove, but we'll have to see. BK finishing that escape up now, so we'll be able to follow along on Supercar's footsteps now. Supercar will take that full heart in Lost Woods, yes please. You see a lot of people skip pieces of heart when they see them like that, but full hearts it's hard to say no to. You don't know how long you're going to be on green mail, or you might be on green mail the entire seed, so all the health you can get can be quite good.
Yeah, absolutely. Just some more bombs in Lost Woods. So let's see what Kakariko yields.
Yeah, not much in the way of stuff to track so far. We've got the Power Glove, and that's about it. And BK will be enjoying these red rupees from the hoarder, but it runs down, so that's a little bit less fortunate for him. And well, that rupee's not getting reached; it's behind the tree. But still, good rupee counts early on. They'll be able to afford the bottle vendor and think about saving up for Zora, but won't be thinking about going there for a little while. So let's see what Supercar gets here in Blind's hut. Got a piece of heart. Got a red rupee. Not too exciting. Hey, there's the blue mail, so that's pretty good. And a bee in a bottle, which is nice because that means we get to check Sick Kid on our first Kakariko visit.
Yeah, so not bad. When I get one extra location to check out of the way. BK is farming up some red rupees, which not a bad idea as well, because you can get Zora potentially out of the way earlier.
Alright, Supercar is dropping into Kakariko Well now, and what are we going to have here? More bombs. There's got to be an item coming up soon, right? Something to take us somewhere?
I would say so, yeah.
It's a full heart. It's nothing yet. Arrow upgrade. Hook shot, there we go.
Okay, and flute.
And the flute, thank you.
I was about to say, okay, with hook shot and glove, you can go sequence break Death Mountain, but now you don't need to sequence break Death Mountain.
Oh, BK's showing off some good game knowledge there. That one of the 50-50 bomb rocks is just on your way out of Lost Woods. I actually didn't know about that one myself, so getting an extra bomb heading into Kakariko, that's pretty cool for when you have powered gloves at that point.
So Supercar activating this flute that'll allow for some easier travel.
Yeah, that's really convenient. Having flute this early on is just super nice because you get to flute down to the South Shore, you get to flute the Ice Rod Cave, you don't have to worry about taking a slow walk there later. So, pretty good Kakariko so far, just with those items. We've got a couple left, so let's see what Supercar finds here in the chicken house. Blue bottle. Won't say no to that.
So 2 bottles so far. Interesting.
Maybe fulfilling the prophecy of the hash with the 3 bottles in there. Now, Sick Kid, he's got a cape.
Ooh, cape. You never like to see that early.
Especially when they have no means of actual attack aside from bombs. I mean, I guess they do have to get a sword if they're going to get forced to do Aghanim, so it can't be that bad, but...
Yeah, it's only item 1 out of 3 you would need to get up through Aghanim's tower, but whenever you see the cape, it's like a bit of a red flag.
A library check from Supercar here, and there's only a piece of heart there, so that location can now be forgotten. We won't see it for quite a while. So BK activates the flute, and Supercar pulls that flute out. It's going to take a look at the race game here. We'll see if there's anything good, or if we're just fluting away. It's the Moon Pearl. Dodges that duck.
Yeah, he pre-fluted, thinking, it's nothing, it's nothing. Oh, it's something. Wait, I gotta get out of the way.
That was pretty good. I like that. Fluting before you even see it, and then you have time to, like, duck down, because chances are it's nothing, but hey.
So that's 2 items out towards Dark World. We'll still need a hammer or another power glove, or another glove upgrade to get up to Dark World.
Yeah, so looking pretty good for them. They have a lot of locations left to check. We'll see the South Shore soon, most likely. Eastern's open, and actually quite a lot on Death Mountain thanks to that hook shot.
But Supercar's gonna stick to a traditional route and do South Shore first.
Makes sense. A little bit more love in the dam. So we're feeling pretty good about safety in this seat already. 7 hearts without even having thought about going to a dungeon yet, and a blue mail. It's got to be feeling good for both of the runners here. You're not going to be too worried about many bosses already, I think. More bombs underwater. Those are soggy though, you don't want them.
I feel like when you start with bombs, it just rains bombs.
Now we're gonna see the 10 bomb drop show up in Mini Moldorm Cave.
Well, we can't because the 10 bomb drop was on the uncle.
Oh, is that how it works? It just puts it there? I wasn't sure if there was another one sitting out in the world. I'll pay attention to the seed.
There's only 1 10 bomb drop in the pool, and if you're starting weapons bombs, then it'll be on the uncle.
Ah. Well, today I learned something. So having the hookshot there for Mini Moldorm Cave is pretty good. Those 3 bombs in the dam probably would have gotten taken, you know, without the hookshot, just to make sure Mini Moldorm Cave went okay, but hookshot's great for that, and there was absolutely nothing in there.
Yep, I feel like Mini Moldorm Cave has lost some of its value in version 29. It's still a nice place to check. Usually we'll get something out of it, but not all the time.
Yep. BK doing a nice little skip there, using the hookshot to clip through that block as it was being pushed, so skips a couple of screen transitions going in and out of the dam, so saves a little bit of time there. We see Supercar going up Death Mountain now. We'll take a look at Spectacle Rock and probably over to the right side. Supercar did leave Ice Rod Cave behind, but with the flute you can go basically check that out at any time.
Yeah, not a big deal to leave that behind with the flute. Spectacle Rock, pretty much empty. Now I can jump down and head over to the east side of Death Mountain.
Yep, lots of item locations here. The 7 in Paradox Cave, and, well, if you're feeling like a walk, 1 more in Spiral Cave, which at this point you'll probably go for. BK had a pretty good kill of all those mini Moldorms, and now be getting the disappointment out of the back of this cave. So let's see what BK decides here. I mean, BK will go Death Mountain soon, but maybe we'll get an Ice Rod Cave check first.
Yeah, he's going to give us the Ice Rod Cave check.
Alright, so we get a bit of everything here, and there's our first sword for Supercar up on Death Mountain and Paradox Cave, lower or upper Paradox Cave, depending on how you look at it.
So, we're 1 item from Dark World access and 1 item from Aghanim access.
That's pretty tense. Of course, we're all hoping it's not Aghanim. Please don't make us do Aghanim. Flippers showing up, and the mushroom. The flute in hand, that's pretty nice. It's an easy thing to check quickly. There's a bomb upgrade and a whole bunch of money, so that was a pretty good Paradox Cave all in all.
Yeah, overall pretty good. We're still kind of looking for what we're supposed to do first, or in terms of our progression. But by grabbing those flippers, actually, now that puts all of the Zora area stuff in logic. And bytesizedBK is going to think flipper, which could pay off for him, but if there's something on that Zora ledge, then this is going to be a time loss for him.
Yeah, that's true. At least he'll know about it, though, so that is one benefit of this, just being there early on. And with the Moon Pearl, you can check Waterfall Cave, but it is concerning being at 381 rupees. I hope for BK's sake that there's a little bit more money along the way so that Zora can get cleaned up as well, but we'll have to see. Hobo, is he rich today? No, he just gives you his heart, and now he's going to lay there, dying.
He's rich in love.
Alright, we've got the walk through Spiral Cave, and it's just a small bit of love. So Supercar, I think now done with Death Mountain and is going to flute away. Has Ice Rod Cave as a potential, has Eastern Area as a potential. We'll see what their choice is. We're going to check that mushroom right away. Now, what's your opinion on the mushroom check, JP? I know it's like a fast one-off to get, but do you ever save the mushroom to potentially fake powder with it?
Generally, well, first of all, the mushroom here just used a heart container. Generally, I like to save and quit before turning in the mushroom. I'll check it, and then if it's something, I'll keep it. If it's nothing, I will get rid of it. I'll hard reset.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
that's it.
Yeah, BK found the hammer. Wow.
Yeah, hammer up in Waterfall Cave, so that fake flipper paying off, but of course Supercar has the flippers and can just walk straight up here to Zora, so this routing's working out pretty well. So BK gets a look at that Zora ledge, which is just a piece of heart. It's going to save and quit from there, take that hammer out of there, and actually that's Dark World access as well, so this could be Link's house down to Hype Cave, potentially.
Yeah, he's going straight for Hype Cave.
Supercar is likely going to show us something else up here, though, and this could be a pretty big point in this race. If Zora has something, BK is not going to really want to head back there. Okay, here's our Dark World map check. Turtle Rock's green pendant, Thieves Town is blue pendant, 5-6 are Swamp, and Skull Woods.
I really hate it when Thieves Town is a pendant.
Yeah, and it's such a nice dungeon to do, you know, right away when you're in the Dark World oftentimes, but then it's like, do you really want to finish Pendant this early on? And then you can tell yourself, oh, I'll finish it if there's, you know, less than 3 items in the front part, and then you get 1, and you're like, oh my gosh. Alright, so Hype Cave, we got the bug net, we got bombs, we got money, and we've got nothing.
Yeah, unfortunately not much in that Hype Cave. Over on Supercar's side, he did check Zora, but it was just some rupees, so BK not really missing anything up there.
Yeah, BK will eventually have to go to Death Mountain and pick up that sword and flippers, but it's not going to slow him down too much. I think at this time, things should just be a-okay, because there's not really much that they unlock right now that Supercar hasn't already checked. We know there's nothing crazy like the boots or the mirror that could be really handy. So we see a different approach to the Dark World for both players. Supercar is going to be heading from Village of Outcasts down through this area, maybe doing a dip into Skull Woods early on, whereas BK wanted to get Hype Cave out of the way, get those 5 items, which didn't turn out to be anything, and we'll do South Dark World, then probably save and quit and take a look. Well, either at Village of Outcasts or maybe take a visit up to Death Mountain, we'll have to see.
Yeah, Supercar is going to start up in Skull Woods.
Not a bad play. There are only 2 items here available, and potentially, well, 0 if they're in the back half, gated by the Fire Rod, but they do have the dungeon bias working for them, so it's more likely we're going to find something good in here than 2 overworld locations.
Just starting out with the big key.
Now, the hope for Supercar is that there's a key, a small key in this next chest, and we won't have to go through the pinball room. It's a pretty good bet to go this way. This is the best average route through Skull Woods, but no key today, so we'll have to take a walk around. Alright, so BK is going to head up Death Mountain now, and is also going to show us something we didn't see from Supercar. They opted to skip this old man because navigating these dark rooms when you don't have a sword or the lamp can be kind of annoying, as you see BK has to hookshot continuously to find out where walls are, and it's a little slow, but it will get that save point up on Death Mountain, and we will find an item here, so we'll have to see what this is.
Now Supercar working through Skull Woods. There's the first item, just a 20.
You're doing a bomb jump here now to get to the big chest. Almost, man, it's kind of a cool, interesting setup. Setting the bomb first and then trying to walk to the pit. You need a little bit low on health, but I'm sure just use the door if need be, and gets up there across and rewarded with the Master Sword.
Okay. Well, that's both of our items out of Skull Woods. Can't finish it right now, though. No, I don't think the old man yielded anything. So.
Yeah, it didn't look like it. So Supercar will be happy with that Master Sword. And normally, at this point, you could leave Skull Woods and say, I'll just go back at the end of the game when I'm in go mode, but it being a 5-6 crystal might mean we see a visit there a little bit earlier, but we're still quite a ways away from being able to finish Swamp. Where are we? Just need the mirror, that's not that bad.
Yeah, just the mirror and we can get into Swamp. In a way, you almost want to see that mirror as your last item now, so you don't have to worry about full clearing Swamp.
Yeah, that's true. It's definitely one of the more painful dungeons to have to progress through. And you also waste a lot of time checking mirror spots if they actually don't turn out to be anything. So sometimes finding a late mirror can be a bit of a blessing in a seed. And sometimes something's sitting there in Cave 45 south of the Grove, and you need that. So BK is going to be cleaning up Paradox Cave right now. Gets that Fighter's Sword, and we'll be getting the flippers, so he'll know he's back in sequence.
Supercar doing his checks in Village of Outcasts. Nothing so far.
Yeah, so flippers there for BK. There's that mushroom, which of course just led to a full heart. Supercar will be doing the chess game and then most likely taking a dip into Thieves Town, although we'll see how far they opt to go. Hey, half magic in the chess game, that's not bad.
Nope, not bad at all.
Now, did Supercar did go look at Bumper Cave? I didn't notice
Bumper. It was just a big 20.
All right, I figured as much, given that we didn't go up there and have the cape already. So yeah. We got an arrow upgrade in Thieves Town, so that's one useless item out of the way out of 4 potential non-dungeon items in here.
Now this is interesting. BK with the hammer can go over and do Hera.
Yeah, that's a pretty big difference, because Supercar found the hammer after having come up here, so Hera is a pendant, may not be required, but it does have these 2 items in here, and if there's anything big, it could be a while before Supercar wants to go back there, especially without the mirror. It's a really long trip up here, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Supercar not come back to Death Mountain for quite a while. So big keys showing up in the basement first. That's kind of important, because without a fire source, this dungeon could be locked out. Could still get locked out of 1 item here. We'll have to see what's what.
Yeah, very interesting start. We'll see what we get going up. Supercar hasn't found much in the front. Let's see if he elects to go into the back.
It's like Supercar wants items out of Thieves Town. Not a bad call. I mean, there's still Hype Cave waiting down there, but you don't want to have to come all the way back to Thieves Town, so Supercar will check deeper into the dungeon. Doesn't have the best health right now, but there is that blue potion, so if need be, they could expend that, but you don't really want to expend that while traversing a dungeon, but, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. First item in here, just a piece of heart.
Yeah, we see BK not opting to bomb jump across to the big chest. A lot of people will not do this bomb jump without the boots, because if you edge too far and fall into that pit, you lose so much time falling down 2 floors.
Yeah, if you want to, you can step on the tiles to set up a safer bomb jump, but it's still a bit of a time loss if you do fall down.
Yeah, and with that one, then you're still falling down a floor afterwards, so it's like, why do I go to all this effort? You can also, I guess, just hookshot across, but once again, then you're still falling down the floor. So BK, coming up into the Moldorm fight, still has 1 item at large in Hera. Now the small key can lock itself in the basement, thanks to some logic updates, so this might be an item or it might be a small key, and we'll have to think about that later. But hey, Titan's Mitt hanging out in Thieves Town, that's a pretty good place for it.
Okay, so that's absolutely required pendant dungeon.
And BK gets that last item from Hera. It's just bombs, but having that out of the way is a relief. You don't have to think about going back to Hera basement later on.
So Supercar looks like so far has made the better choice here. We'll see what he likes to do afterwards.
Yeah, BK's gonna head back over and take the walk through Spiral Cave, so didn't get any benefit out of this further trip to Death Mountain, other than peace of mind that Tower of Terror is not going to be required. But Supercar finding a little bit more progression here, especially with that Titan's Mitt Thieves Town. That's a great item, and they'll be able to route pretty well after this, being able to go up and down through the South Dark World, maybe take the frog on a journey. And they must have every item in Thieves Town at this point, because they skipped that chest.
Yeah. So Supercar is electing to finish Thieves Town, though, even though he knows he's got all the items out of it.
It's an interesting call. It's kind of like hedging your bets against a pedestal seed, which is pretty unlikely, but as well with no mirror, it's like, do you really want a death warp out of here? I don't know. So here comes Supercar's blind fight now, to see how this goes. Gardeners like to spring into action. Blind says, thanks for that pun. Super low health here. Only 2 hearts left for this third phase.
He's gonna pull that cape, finish it off with cape.
That makes it considerably less scary.
So, okay, so both of our runners have finished a pendant dungeon.
BK heads down to 3 now, so we'll likely see some of the same checks that Supercar made. Opting to go to Skull Woods is a pretty common play at this point, even though you can't finish it. Just dipping for those couple items can be nice, but whether BK does that or not, the Master Sword he'll find eventually. Won't be too big of a deal, but you know, either play will be good. Master Sword, then Titan's Mitts, or just Titan's Mitts. It's all good stuff. see the bootless hammer pegs from Supercar here, which is pretty annoying, to say the least, having to walk around all these.
And just a 20. Yeah, you hate to do that without the boost, but at the same time, you hate to leave it behind if it has something valuable in it.
Yeah, it's true, for sure. And you may not be coming back that way for quite a while, especially if the mirror or something ends up being there and you say, oh, I'll just do it when I go to do blacksmiths with the mirror, and then suddenly, you know, it's 30 minutes later and you haven't found any items for a while. So we'll see Supercar go for the digging game here. Wouldn't be surprised to see them go back up, pick up the blacksmiths afterwards, and then walk to Hype Cave with them. But we'll see what the digging game has. It's more bomb upgrade. Why not? This is the bomb seed.
So yeah, looks like Supercar is going to head back up and grab the blacksmith.
We'll get a bit of a walk. BK did Hype Cave in this lower area already, so I shouldn't have actually been surprised that there was a bomb upgrade in the digging game. I think we already saw that.
Yeah.
Alright, so BK is going to opt to do the kind of intended way over to the big key chest, which is just, you know, if you miss that bomb jump a couple times, just doing it this way is faster. So I'm just going to say, yeah, let's just do this. And you can just hook shot out of here, so it's pretty convenient. So with that, BK's got both items out of Skullwoods. Evens up on swords there, grabbing the Master Sword, and probably be heading down. Oh, wait. Maybe didn't count items. Is going to check this extra chest to...
Yeah. We've seen both items in here. I think it was a big 20 and the Master Sword.
Yeah, so a bit of a mistake here, but it's not the most time-costing mistake. But we'll just get like a small key or dungeon item out of this and then move on with our lives.
Yeah, it's kind of an important reason to remember your chest counts in these dungeons, so you don't have to make these extra checks.
Alright, so Supercar getting the disappointment out of Hype Cave now.
So he's going to keep going with the Frogsmith.
Maybe this is a full loop all the way up past Pyramid and Catfish.
So it's kind of looking like. Maybe go check the Pyramid, then go check Catfish. It's kind of a long walk without the boots, but at the same time, you kind of can get a good route in for it.
Yeah, it's true. These locations you see people skip a lot, but there's just not really ever going to be a good time to walk up to Catfish. It's always going to be painful, so some players will opt to get it out of the way early, and then you don't have to think about that one-off, because, you know, you can go dive dungeons and whatever. You can say, man, Pod has so many chests in it, I can get stuff there, but if the bow's sitting at Catfish, you waste your time in Pod. Oh boy.
Just a red boomerang with... Yep, Supercar's going to ignore that.
Nobody wants that lagarang, so... Frog's getting a lot of exercise here.
Well, let's see if Bite-sized or BK he elects to go into... Well, he's got to check the visitors first. See if he elects to go into Thieves Town. We know he does need to go in there to grab those Titan's mitts.
Yeah. It's not an uncommon decision to just do the first 4 of Thieves Town and leave as well when it's a penance, so this is going to be a pretty big moment here if BK decides to keep going. But I think there's probably, I mean, I say it as a commentator knowing what's already in there, there's probably good incentive to keep going because they haven't found much extra progression since they've gone into the Dark World, and they're just looking for something new.
At the same time, though, based on how Supercar did that dungeon, it's very likely there's 3 items in the front. Which... Yeah,
that's true, because of that maiden chest skip, so it's like, man, do you really want to do the rest of Thieves Town for 1 item? Oh gosh, this can be rough. Catfish just coughs up a big 20, so Supercar has cleaned up pretty much all of the Dark World overworld that they can do now, and we'll see what the Smiths have on this turn in.
Yeah, let's see what BK does in here. And Supercar's not going to take the Smith back just yet.
This frog is getting the full tour. It's like, hey, you want to see this other part of Hyrule? Here's the mire area. He's like, no, please take me back to my home.
We see a Bombos symbol in front of Mire.
Getting that information. Bite-sized entering Thieves Town gets that first item there. Now we get to see Mire Shed. Oh, boots hanging out there. That's really good.
Yep, that is a very nice pickup. Not necessarily required for the seed, but you always want to have them.
Yeah, that's for sure. And now, you know, a lot of the times when players route differently, they just end up trading places and doing things at the same time that each other did. But Supercar does have a bit of an advantage now. Having these boots, everything they do is going to be a little bit faster. And this actually works out really well because they wanted to head down to turn in the blacksmith anyways and say, hey, save and quit to Sanctuary, check Bonk Rocks on the way. And the mirror's there! Holy smokes!
And over on BK's side, he dipped out of Thieves Town. I guess he saw the 3 items and decided that was enough.
Oh man, that's huge. He's going to have to go back there for the Titan's Mitts, which leads to the boots and the mirror. 3 critical items, so that's a big time loss for BK because he's going to check a bunch of Overworld, and then you don't go back to Thieves Town after you leave it for a long time. Maybe even the last thing he does will be going back to get those Titan's Mitts. The only good news is that the Titan's Mitts, the boots, and the mirror lock so much stuff that BK will run out of locations pretty fast.
Yeah, it won't take him too long to get back there, though. He'll probably make a pod dip, an eastern dip. Yeah, it'll cost him a little bit of time.
Yeah, that's true. Come to think of it, we've had pretty good access to stuff so far in this seed because neither player has checked Sahashala. That eastern area is completely unvisited, and there's a lot of items over there. Hopefully for BK's sake, the bow is actually in Potter Eastern, or in that area, and it's not gated by the mirror because dipping over there, not having the bow, and having to come back later, oh man, that's going to be huge for Supercar if that's the case.
Now, in the meantime, we've got Supercar looking like he's going to go for Swamp, which is not a bad idea. Because, I mean, as painful as Swamp can be, it's a dungeon you can full clear right now, and I think it's the only crystal dungeon you can full clear at this point.
Yeah, that's true. 6 items in there. You do always want to leave this for go mode, but having the boots speeds up Swamp by a lot walking through all of that water, so... You know, not a bad play at all. Full clearable crystal dungeon. Hard to say no to that. So we'll get a look at this eastern area for BK. And Sahashala hiding the red mail and a shield. So that's pretty defensive stuff back there. Just a big 20 to round it out. So nice stuff, but BK really needs the bow to show up for this kind of advantage that Supercar has to not spiral out of control. So we got a pretty big divergence now, both runners doing completely different things, so we'll get to see a lot as commentators, and we get to approach no mode, as they say. Right now we know that Swamp is nothing so far.
Yeah, we're still a pretty good chunk away from that. We need bow, we need fire rod, we need cane, we need bombos. Don't know if we need anything else beyond that.
At least that much stuff. Of course, the lamp will have to show up at some point with logic, but runners may or may not want or need that. There's just in Eastern is just the map, so it's 1 dungeon item down.
Now, yeah, I think we can also... We're pretty far away from Pedestal being anywhere near anything useful, too. I think the only 2 items out of those go modes that can be on there is the bow and the Bombos Medallion.
Yeah, that's right, with T-Rock being one of the pendants. It's not too likely that there's so many items you need for T-Rock that the actual progression can't be there. So, second item in Swamp was another big 20. I don't think we've seen anything great in Eastern yet either.
Supercar is just biting the bullet, gonna just full clear Swamp right now.
Makes sense. It's more efficient to just, you know, get left side out of the way right away when you can do that trick with the key in the main room so that you don't have to go through here twice. But left side Swamp, that's a place, alright. There's 5 rupees in the big chest of Eastern.
So 50-50 chance you can get the last item in Eastern. No bow, you definitely can't go finish this right now.
So we'll have to wait and see. The bow shows up here. That's a really horrible location for it, really. You know, vanilla items are never fun. And still technically out of sequence because we have not seen that lamp yet. Dark rooms without the lamp are never required by the seed generator. So, BK coming up on this last chest of Eastern Supercar, walking over to left side Swamp. Who's gonna find something good?
BK has a little trouble with that item frame, or utility frame, but just a compass.
Here's a save and quit for BK Supercar, finding another rupee. It's 4 for 4 on rupees in chests and swamps. This is a ugly swamp so far.
Yeah, you don't like seeing that on the left side.
So BK, not having the mirror, is now gonna, you know, head to pod. Makes sense to do this play. You know, you want a mirror from pod to go to Eastern, but you don't have it, so this is the way to do it instead. Supercar. I don't think we saw the big key yet, so he's also going to have to skip this chest and potentially come back for it.
Yeah, we have not seen the big key in here yet.
With any luck, the big key is just locking itself or the map, and we don't have to worry about it. BK's got Kiki in tow. Make sure not to get hit by this last thingy, and then head into pod. Pod has a ton of item locations in it, and its dungeon weight is extremely heavy, so it's very likely that there's some kind of progression here. But whether it's something that BK needs, or something that might just lead him away from finding that Titan's Mitt in Thieves Town, we'll have to see. Oh man, so this is the worst. So Supercar found the map, so if Argus has the big key, there's going to be an item in that chest, but there's still the chance that the big key locks itself.
Nope, there's the big key.
Gosh, the worst swamp arrangement.
So he's gonna go kill Argus, then I'm betting he'll come right back in to check the big chest.
Yeah, unless Argus gives some kind of amazing progression, like the Fire Rod, but even then, you have so few items right now that you just want to be thorough at this point in the seed, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Ether showing up for BK.
Unfortunately, well, we don't know what Turtle Rock's medallion is yet, so that could be useful.
Oh man, speaking of Turtle Rock, here's the Ice Rod.
And BK elects to stop there. Now, he elected to skip the potential potion glitch he could have used to get to the bow-locked side. But, I mean, he definitely would not have been able to clear this dungeon either way.
Yeah, that's true. It can be a bit of a time investment, and, you know, you may or may not want to burn a blue potion on that. At this point as well, like, BK... Was that the book?
That was a book on the ledge.
Well, you know how you're getting in the desert.
So yeah, desert has to be accessed with the mirror.
That's honestly good news for BK, because anything to narrow the amount of locations he has left to the point where he has to go back into Thieves Town is going to help him catch up, but Supercar is definitely making good progress through here. But hey, Big BK picking up the silvers in Agina's cave there.
That could be a location that, depending on how Supercar clears this seed, might not go to.
Yeah, that's true. If you're in go mode at the time that you go for Mire Desert, like, you're not going to check that. Alright, so what's next for BK? Looks like another trip to the Dark World. Down south here. What's left in this area, though?
I don't know.
This is going to be Pyramid and Catfish.
Yeah, let's say Pyramid Catfish. I don't think he's done yet.
And of course, this all makes sense. Like, BK is definitely running low on things available to be done, but it makes sense to just put off Pod till the absolute last. Like, you don't want to go back for that after you skipped out of it. Unfortunately, that good routing choice in this case is going to mean BK has to check all of this stuff before heading back there.
Supercar's coming to the ledge here. I didn't think there was anything on the ledge, but maybe he just never checked it.
That's possible.
Yeah,
actually, I don't think Supercar did any of this swimming because BK did. Oh wait, oh right, because Supercar turned in the mushroom in the Zora area.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so he hasn't been down here yet.
BK sees the red meringue on the pyramid and says, as expected, I don't need that.
So let's start looking at what the next potential moves are. I think actually their next good move would be Desert right now. I mean, in terms of... Well, actually, no, you can't even full clear Desert.
Yeah, that's true. Mirror spots, there's probably a few of those open. Oh, Supercar has not done the Old Man. East Death Mountain as well. We didn't have the mitts on the first visit, so Hookshot Cave's open. Super Bunny's Cave's open. So it looks like Death Mountain. Maybe we'll do Hera at this point, and then see what's what from there.
Yeah, at this point, there's no crystal dungeon that Supercar can full clear. You could go up to Hera and clear that, but we know that's just dependent. Or that's dependent with nothing in it.
And I'm trying to keep track of how things are going for BK. There can't be that many locations left before Thieves Town is forced, but there's still something, because here we are walking over. Oh, right, BK never actually went to Zora because they didn't have the money on the first visit.
Yeah, that's right. Unfortunately, that's not his progression either.
Yeah. This has got to be like, this is the bottom of the list of locations. Like, walk to Catfish, it's like, okay, it wasn't that. That was terrible. Walk to Zora, okay. We're almost at the point where it's going to be the Thieves Town revisit. Supercar will show us some new stuffs here pretty soon on East Dark Death Mountain, and going to be doing some Super Bunny Cave action, some Hookshot Cave action. We might see what Turtle Rock's medallion is, although I don't really want to go independent Turtle Rock. At least finding out is good. We got a single rupee and another red rupee hanging out in Super Bunny Cave.
Man, we're 48 minutes into this seed, and just looking at our item trackers, they just look barren for 48 minutes into a seed.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think some of the jet seeds I've seen this tournament, the item tracker was more filled out than this after Kakariko. So Hookshot Cave, more money. How many more 20s are there? Probably lots. That's red, but it's a lot nicer. Tempered Sword.
That's a nice little pickup. But unfortunately, still no progression.
Yeah, jeez. Alright, so Supercar is going to head over. Probably take a look at Hera now.
And I see where BK is going. I think he's going to go back into Thieves Town.
It has to be time for that. There's nothing left, right? Everything BK has done is just come up with nothing because the forced progression is in Thieves Town. Now, to BK's benefit, that's a bunch of annoying one-offs that Supercar might at some point, if they get stuck later in the seed, have to go check some. Like, we're going to see Supercar do Hera here, which BK already did, get nothing of benefit out of it. And then hopefully BK can make progress with these mids. Yeah,
BK, despite taking a long time to come back into here, he's not that far behind. Now, when he picks up these mids, he might feel behind, but he's not really that far behind at this point.
Yeah,
and if you were to hold off on Swamp for a little bit, he could make up a good amount of time.
That's true, for sure. The only problem is this entire time he hasn't had the boots in any of these checks, so that does give Supercar a bit of an advantage, but BK has definitely made some good strides in all of this time, and you can't fault him for skipping out of Thieves Town when there's one item left. Like, who wants to do that, right?
Yeah.
As well, you know, if he gets this final item, the Titan's Mitts up top, he might not opt to finish Thieves Town, which, as far as we know, well, I mean, we don't know for sure yet if Pedestal is required or not, but that could be a time saver what Supercar did, finishing off that dungeon.
Yeah, and we do know where the book is. If they, well, Supercar knows where the, no, BK knows where the book is.
Right. Supercar coming up on Moldorm now. We'll see how this fight goes. BK did a pretty good job of it. Supercar has the potential to do it a fair bit faster, having a Tempered Sword already. It's going to be 3 slashes, takes the worm down, and pretty good fight there. There we go. BK gets the item.
He thought about it for a second, but he is going to save and quit out.
I think it was just confirming, you know, his item count was right, that he could just leave at that point. Like, making sure, like, was it 3 items I got here on the first time? Okay, yes it was, let's go. That was Dark Death Mountain right away for BK, so we'll see that Tempered Sword pick up. And, I mean, BK will find the boots and mirror very soon, because there's not a huge amount open, and that mire area is a lot more enticing than something like mirrorless smiths, I think.
Yeah, for sure. You know, Supercar is going to head up into this area, which we know BK already checked, so we know he's not going to find much up here. So this is just giving BK some more time to catch up.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of items here for Supercar, so it makes sense to do. The interesting thing will be to see if Supercar decides to do that potion glitch you mentioned in Pod and get some more progress in. We got a pretty interesting key arrangement in Pod as well. The 2 right side chests are going to be small keys, and the vanilla big key chest is going to be a small key, based on how big BK checked it. The rest of that is all forced.
So BK is going to go check Hookshot Cave next. Actually, he's going to look at Turtle Rock, which Supercar I don't think he did.
Yeah, we didn't get this medallion check, so BK gets it out of the way. It's Ether, which he has. And Supercar doesn't. Where was Ether?
It was in Pod.
Well, that'll even up. But, of course, the runners are hoping that you don't have to go looking into Turtle Rock for some progression, so, gosh, that's awful. That said, no bow showing up yet. Makes you a little nervous.
Yeah, absolutely. Where is that? I mean, we're missing some items that are really just locking a lot of progression in this seed.
Yeah. The nasty thing is, BK is going to eventually go to Mire, right? Get the boots. Probably check Bonkrok, King Tomb pretty soon after that. And then it's like, do you really want to go back and get that book just to unlock the tablets? Ugh.
So, Supercar, I'm not sure why he's bombing this. He can't go up the stairs.
Yeah. Just some muscle memory on this one. It's like, oh, right, I'll just go down here. Grab that ice rod from the basement now. At this point, has those items out of Pod, and could opt for a potion glitch and is going to say, nope, I'm out of here. I'm going to stay within the logic.
Yeah, BK is going to grab his boots. Let's the next item would be to go grab the mirror. That's all I think all the boots really can get to with those.
Yeah. And BK, I mean, the nice thing for him is he's got such a low list of things to do. It's like he's forced to go get this mirror pretty much immediately. Like you see instant save and quit to Sank. These might be the only 2 locations. Well, this and Smith's, I suppose.
Yeah, and the Smiths you don't really necessarily want to do without the mirror.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the worst places. Mirror and purple chest is like, oh gosh, that's worse than vanilla bow. Fortunately, this road's going to work out pretty well for BK because he'll get that mirror, and he'll have the option of doing the Smith quest pretty efficiently using the mitts. We'll also have the option of doing Swamp, which wouldn't be a bad play because, as we were saying, completable Crystal is good. I hope for his sake he opts for something else just because we know that putting off Swamp is the right play. Though, yeah, you know, he doesn't know that, and those 6 items are tempting.
Well, so he knows where the book is. Let's see if he elects to go that way.
Yeah, that could be a play.
Nope, he's gonna make the Swamp play.
Swamp. Yeah, not, you know, it makes too much sense.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that. Well, I don't think we've seen Checkerboard Cave yet. I'm starting to think that either Checkerboard Cave or Desert has our next piece of progression.
Yeah, because we can't get into Mire. We can't get into T-Rock without the Kina Samaria. No Fire Rod to do anything more in Skullwoods. No Fire to do anything within Ice. Eastern and Pot are done. Like, yeah, you're right. Hookshot Cave and Desert. Or Purple Chest.
Yeah, that's right, we have not seen the Purple Chest either. And technically, we technically have the book, which you can grab. That would open up the 2 tablets.
Make you walk all the way back up to Ether Tablet? Goodness. I think it's safe to say at this point that this seed is pretty mean.
Yeah, because it's the one-off locations that we have to go for progression. But Supercar's done in Eastern. Where is he going to go next?
Yeah, so getting that flute out, and it's going to fly away. Desert is probably looking pretty good for Supercar, and it is going to be a trip down to 6. We'll get a look at that book right there. And, oh yeah, Gina's Cave, so... Or maybe not. Another flute back to 6 to get up there in Mirror. There's good news for Supercar to be going here now, though, because we know those silvers are in Gina's Cave, and that's a big time saver on Ganon, so... They will probably find those after this desert check now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think the dust has maybe settled on the route divergences a little bit, and we do see Supercar, I think at this point is a bit ahead because BK is going to take a while in Swamp here and then eventually have to move to Desert, and I think pretty much after Swamp, BK doesn't have too much to do and will probably do Desert fairly soon. But Supercar is already going on that. Grabs a small key off the torch. Always nice to have your first trip into Desert be with the boots and you don't have to wonder. Of course, they can't finish it because they don't have a fire source, but
yep.
What are you going to do?
Unless we see that lamp or fire rod in here.
There's got to be something soon. Here's the big key.
Yeah, obviously have to get that. Bombos.
Oh boy. So that opens Mire and Ice Palace.
Yeah, and honestly, I think Ice is probably looking like the better play. I think you can full clear that right now.
I have to agree with you here. I mean, normally, if you can, live the dream. You want to try to keep Ice for Go Mode, because Ice's Go Mode is so much faster than clearing it, but between that and going into Mire without the cane, I think Ice is a good play to go for, but you know, Supercar is already in the area. He's going to get Checkerboard Cave out of the way here too, and then probably do Agina, grab those silvers, and then we'll see. We'll see what the play is from there.
And we're just going to go quick to round up the medallions, which we actually don't need in this seed, but I don't think Supercar knows that because he hasn't checked. He didn't check the Turtle Rock Medallion.
Yeah, exactly. So picking up that now is, well, some peace of mind potentially. You know, you can get into Turtle Rock later if you have the cane, but maybe it's like, oh gosh, is it gonna be Turtle Rock? So I think that actually kind of evens out. BK checked Turtle Rock's medallion, screen transitioning over there up at Hookshot Cave. Supercar has to do Checkerboard Cave when BK eventually gets to Checkerboard Cave. He'll just be able to just turn around and leave, so, you know, things are balanced. Here comes BK dealing with these puffballs now. What's the play for Supercar? Got that flute out. Thinking 8 for Ice Palace, 6 for Meyer. Probably gonna be 8, and there we go.
Yep. He's gonna make the ice play. And this makes a lot of sense. You got the Bombos, so you can full clear this now. Technically, the logic might want you to have the King of Samaria, but you can easily get past that if you bomb jump.
Yeah, that's true.
So BK's got Argus down. Let's see if he goes back in. Yeah. He knows he's still got a couple items in here. Unfortunately, neither item that you really want to see.
Yeah, it makes sense at this point. Like, you got burned by dipping out of Thieves Town early, so you don't want that to happen again. It is good to see that BK's doing this, though, because you might think, like, if you're feeling that you're in trouble because of missing those mitts for a long time, you might see some risky plays here and there, some skips of stuff like this, but BK says, you know, I just want to get these items, so is probably still feeling pretty decent about this race, or maybe just doesn't want to get burned by another dungeon revisit later.
Yeah, that's for sure. So Supercar picked up a key early. That's going to help him route this a little bit.
Yeah, it's nice not having to go down through that jelly hookshot room.
Yeah. To answer a quick question in chat, Samaria might be required for ice because if Cold Stare has a key, then you may be able to lock yourself out of getting to Cold Stare unless you have the Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, exactly. If you burn your keys on every possible door in the dungeon, which is, I mean, really easy not to just avoid, then the logic will say, okay, well, if you have the Cane of Samaria, then you don't need to open that last block to the switch, so you're fine. But we're going to see Supercar here is not going to use keys like that, and is also going to bomb jump, so it's irrelevant, but it's just what the logic can say. Oh, no!
Oh, that sucks. You gotta do the bomb jump a second time.
Walking on the narrow paths in this room, like, you'd think it would be easy. It's like, yeah, you're just walking along these paths, but I swear this is the hardest room to walk along narrow paths in. After you've done that bomb jump, you're just like, please don't fall, and then you do, and here you go.
Yeah.
Having some trouble setting it up this time, too.
Yeah. So, I think it's also worth noting in the logic. It gets at that time. It's worth noting in the logic that the logic will always assume that you basically use your keys in the absolute worst way possible, so that you can never actually lock yourself out of any dungeon. Now, BK is going to check the cave south of the graveyard. I don't think have we seen this yet?
I don't think this got checked yet, so this could be big for BK. Maybe make some strides back into this race if this is something, and it's just another big 20.
Alright, I think he's going to go do the Smiths now.
Makes sense. So we'll get to see this, and because of having the mirror right away, we'll get to loop it in with Purple Chest, so that's going to be something new as well. Meanwhile, Supercar finds that lamp hanging out in Ice Palace there, so that allows completion of Desert.
Complete Desert. Yeah, what else? Complete Desert.
Do not worry as much about dark rooms.
Yeah, you can go to Myron actually a little further now, too.
Oh yeah, that's right, because you need the fire to light up that left side. I didn't even think about that while we were there the first time. I was just like, yeah, we can't finish it because we don't have the team, but you can't even check all the chests. But...
So, yeah, having that lamp helps a little bit. I think there is still an item left in Desert, too.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's so hard to count sometimes, though, while you're trying to just watch. So, these Freezard's gonna get bombos down. Fortunately, with no fire rod, you have to sit through this animation every time, but you do what you have to. There's a map. Alright, so BK picking up that purple chest now. Supercar is gonna grab the big chest of ice, which is just the compass, so getting close to actually getting some items here, hopefully. But I think that does mean it's pretty likely that there's something in iced tea, and we're gonna have to see a walk over there to check it.
Yeah, he only might have one item so far. I can't remember.
Yeah, I know there was the lamp. I wasn't sure if the first chest was just rupees. I immediately forgot about.
The absolute first chest he checked in the penguin room was...
Oh, that was the key, right?
Yeah.
So we are probably just at this lamp right now.
BK, I think, is doing another check we haven't seen in the graveyard ledge.
That's true. An interesting way to walk with the purple chest, but I mean, when you have the flute, this works just fine. Whoa, was that the fire rod hanging out in iced tea?
I looked away. I don't know.
I think I saw a rod there. I'm pretty sure that was the fire rod just now.
Looks like our tracker saw the same. So, Ice Palace guarding both sources of fire.
BK, in the meantime, sees the single arrow in the graveyard ledge and gives it a sword beam. So yeah, all the fire sources in Ice Palace. I mean, it sort of makes sense if you think about like how the game normally gives you vanilla items so that you can complete the dungeons they're in. You have the fire sources in Ice Palace. It's logical, right? It's just a real pain to deal with in Rando.
Yeah. So that also means that deserts are required double dip.
Oof. At least it's not the worst dungeon to double dip. Supercar going to work with this fire rod on Cold Stare now.
Gotta be careful. 3.5 hearts.
Yeah, oh. That red mail saves you pretty well from the falling ice, but the puffballs still hit like a truck, so we'll have to use that blue potion here. Gets a lot more fire rod shots and just makes things safe. Doesn't take a hit afterwards. Alright, BK sees Quake and says,
"Oh my goodness! That was the bow!"
Are you kidding me? So ice has fire rod, lamp, and bow. It's just the best. It's just everything is in ice.
Yeah, everything is in ice.
Holy smokes. I don't think I've ever seen an Ice Palace be that good before.
That Ice Palace was loaded. All 3 items absolutely required to finish the seed.
Holy smokes. And you have to go in there with bombos. Oh man, that's huge. Supercar is going to be in great position now. For Go mode, all that we need is the Cane of Samaria, if I'm not mistaken.
So that officially kills any need for the pedestal. It also officially kills any need to go into Turtle Rock.
Oh no, Supercar is stuck.
Mirrored in the wrong spots.
Normally you'll mirror bonk if you do that, but managed to find the perfect, or worst possible spot to go to instead.
So he's gonna go back around this time and hopefully get into a better spot so he can go to Land Mola. Bytesize picks up his bombos, and he can go into Ice Palace now. I don't think there's not going to be much of a chance of him waiting too long in Ice Palace because there's really not much else for him to do.
Yeah, I think he's getting even into a better situation for finding this than Supercar was when they were at this spot, because, I mean, BytesizeBK has done so much of the overworld, there's like nothing left. and it's basically just going to be Mire or Ice, and Ice makes a lot of sense in this situation because you can clear it.
He's got the flute out. Let's see if he goes to 8.
Yeah, probably will. I mean, if you're going to do Mire, you would just stay here and use that portal again. So there's 8. BK is going to find everything in Ice Palace in short order. Might be able to catch up some time here and there, because remember the Supercar did have a little bit of trouble with that bomb jump. So BK could make up some ground, but it is definitely a pretty big advantage for Supercar at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Supercar is basically ahead by 1 Ice Palace.
Here comes Landmo with silvers. Manages to catch that first worm, but not on the first shot, so we'll be going for another cycle. Timing of this can be a little bit of a pain, but nice snipes on that second cycle, so pretty fast fight there for Supercar.
He has his... This is 3rd crystal. So I gotta imagine next you might do the Eastern pod combo, since you can take them both out now.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. You might find a Samaria along the way, and that's all that we need now, so...
And yep, that's exactly what he's going to do.
Now, it also makes sense, I think, if Samaria doesn't show up here, just finish Skullwoods so you open up Pyramid Fairy. I think at this point you kind of want to put off going into Misery Mire until you find that cane, but of course, if the cane's in there, you waste your time checking Pyramid Fairy and stuff like that. You give a lot of time to your opponent if they just say, I'm just going for it. So it'll be interesting to see what the decisions are when they get to those points, but for now, their paths are clear. Like, BK's gonna find this stuff, probably do exactly what Supercar did. Well, I mean, you could go Pod Eastern before you go to Desert, for example. That might actually be a little bit better of a route, potentially, because you could potentially put Desert and Mire together if you find the cane over in Pod Eastern, but I suppose at the same time, if you find the cane in Desert, then you don't need to check the back of Pod, so time save here and there.
Looks like, unfortunately, BK is having just as much trouble with that bomb jump.
Yeah, has the X set up now, and manages to get that Y coordinate, so we'll be across. Now please, don't fall.
Yeah. Supercar, I think, for a minute forgot that he's already been through most of Eastern.
Oh, did a little bit of the, autopilot, like, this is how you do Eastern, you check these chests, but you don't need to. Wow, that was a sick turnaround hook shot on that trap there in the cross room of Ice Palace. Not to take damage, not to get knocked back.
So BK will get his first of 3 items, which will be the lamp here.
Yeah. Supercar progressing through Eastern. I do believe that Armos Knights has an item, if I recall correctly, that we found the compass and map already on the first visit, so we'll see if this is the cane, or, I mean, most likely, it's in Pod, because we still have 3 items waiting for us there, but doing Eastern first makes, of course, the most sense. You have to do this anyways, and if you can skip the back of Pod, that's really good. Though they don't have the big key, so actually they have to go there no matter what.
Alright, on the Armos fights, this will be pretty quick.
Yeah, with silver arrows, you can just plink them once each with an arrow. And Supercar setting up. Missed one shot, but takes them down in short order. Gets the upgraded shield. Not the item that you wanted, but hey, could be another big 20, so not so bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And now he can... Now he'll go straight over to Pod and see what's in there.
Yep. Nice efficient routing. After what this seed put these guys through early, it's nice that they get to do some things, like the Pod Eastern combo later on. It's nice stuff. BK heading over to Ice Tea Room, so he's gonna get that Fire Rod. Really convenient time for the Fire Rod, just before you fight Cold Stare, where it's most effective.
Yeah, definitely. Get those right away. Get that, and make cold stare a bit easier.
That was some nice execution from BK in that switch room as well. Like just catching the edges with the hook shot, and then as soon as I press that falls, fire bar. Ugh. I was trying to make it past that cycle, but couldn't quite do it. But managed to get through here and be grabbing that fire rod soon. So Supercar, gonna go get a small key and then another small key right here as BK grabs that fire rod.
So without Samaria, you're gonna go ahead and full clear as much as you can until you find it.
Yeah. Now I'll be interested to see if Supercar skips the vanilla big key location in pod, because by the key logic of the rando, it must be a key. There's always 4 keys in the first half, and it looks like flipping the switch means we're gonna skip it. We're gonna save that time.
Oh.
So, oh gosh. I think the best thing to do at this... Oh no! Falls on this side of it.
Yeah, I don't even know what the best thing to do is in that situation.
I think... Well, 2 options are you walk down... This time we're going to get revenge and just kill them all, but you could walk down to the south to push them back to the middle of the room, where you could like cast Quake to get rid of them, but... Supercar kills them, and now we'll head back to pod. We need to do this to find that big key. Nice cold stare there from BK. You see that little Helmosaur get pushed off the bridge? That's pretty funny.
Yeah. BK will grab his bow, and let's see what he elects to do next.
Supercar is going to check Harmless Hellway. I think at this point trying to optimize, do shorter checks, because you can sometimes skip that if you go to the basement first, but gets the big key from that, so that was required. And we'll be checking these last few chests, looking for that Key to Samaria. Still 3 non-dungeon items in pod, and one of them might be Kane.
And BK is going to go through the Eastern pod play first.
Alright, so both runners will kind of be doing the same thing for a little bit here. Looking for that Key to Samaria. And if it's not in these dungeons, we've seen a lot of the seed get cleared. Turtle Rock's off the table. We've seen so many one-offs get cleared. I feel like the only thing that comes to mind for me is Pyramid Fairy if it's not these dungeons.
Yep, and Pyramid Fairy would be available by clearing Skull Woods.
Alright, so Supercar coming up on these last 2 chests gets a full heart. We've seen the map and compass already. We've seen all the small keys. So there are 2 items left. Big chest has 1, Helmosaur has the other. Big chest has 10 arrows. Come on, Helmosaur. Give us something nice.
Alright, yeah, he's skipping that middle chest, which absolutely has to be a key at this point. BK is going to do his pod check. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do next if they don't find Kane here.
Yeah. In my mind, it has to be Pyramid Fairy, but
well,
things, yeah, like Supercar hasn't checked, purple chest and stuff like that, so...
He hasn't checked purple chest. We also have not seen what's on either tablet yet.
Oh, that's true, because, the book was in a terrible spot, and the mirror was super late, so... Yeah. Those 2 locations, those are painful, but you can at least do Bombo's tablet right before you go for Pyramid Fairy, so... Might be a route. So BK clearing out the back part pod here as Supercar finishes up. So Supercar's advantage is pretty much this lead in pod and the back that they're already done. Well, Eastern and Desert, oh man. That's quite a lot. And all because of that, fateful choice with Thieves Town early, but if Supercar invests some time back checking some of the one-offs that BK did, like Graveyard Ledge and Purple Chest, that could be good for BK's side of things.
Yeah, I think for BK, he needs to hope Samaria is not on Helmosaur.
Yeah, if Supercar finds Go mode right now, it's going to be very difficult for BK to catch up.
Yeah, Supercar's making very good work with Thelmasar.
So he's going to nicely sit still and eat the silver arrow to the face, so that's a good fight there. And what's the item drop going to be? Well, it was red.
It's not the cane. So that's good news for BK. I mean, though he'll probably do these dungeons first. That will give him a chance to catch up if Supercar elects to check some of the stuff that BK already has.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Supercar's route does at this point. We're getting into the territory of just kind of annoying one-off locations. And as well, there's the decision to just go to Mire and see if it's in there.
That is true. It could be in Mire.
Ice Rod Cave has never been checked by Supercars. Like, what's that, 8? Of course, here we are.
Yeah, this is almost something you're hoping it's not there, because if it's here, then you might feel way behind.
Yeah, but this gives you an idea of the difference between how it's gone for BK and Supercar, because BK has cleared all of this stuff while frantically looking for the Titan Smiths earlier. And maybe it was a little bit more thorough in the early game. But Supercar can check it really fast having the blue boots, so that's good stuff for them. So what's next? Going for the Mire play.
This is a gamble. If the cane's in here, Supercar is in really good shape. If not, that gives BK more time to catch up.
Yeah, this is what BK needs, is, you know, a Supercar to clear Mire and not find the cane, and then BK to go for Overworld first. Now, I'm not sure, it'll be interesting to see what BK's decision is when he gets to this point in the route, because, you know, like, this play makes a lot of sense. You don't want to clear all of the Overworld. You need to look through Mire for the big key anyways, so even if you don't find it here, your time's not completely wasted. And BK, you know, might be feeling the pressure from having that late Mitz find still.
But I guess there is one thing that potentially could happen here, is if BK goes to clear Desert, he might elect to check in Mire too.
Oh man, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Geez, it's just a tough position, all coming back to that Thieves Town. Supercar taking care of these Wizrobes. Oh no! The Beamos just the wrong time.
Yeah, I guess it's just a matter of what do you check. We'll have to see what BK's route takes him as Supercar begins to look through Mire.
BK giving Thelmasar a nice spin and 2 slashes with Pepper, not even bothering to menu his silvers. Gets that, get the red rupee, and Supercar approaching that first chest in Mire. It's just a small key, so we're kept in suspense a little bit longer. And the spike chest in Mire, what's it gonna be? More small key.
It's Small Key Palace.
I always found... Sorry, go ahead.
I think there's 6 small keys in here that you can get.
It's something like that. I know there's 3 in chests, and then there's a bunch of ones just sitting in guaranteed spots. The thing I always found funny about the small key arrangement here is that you actually don't need any to go kill Vitreous. You only need them if you, to come over to these chests, if you waste them on a bunch of doors elsewhere in the dungeon that nobody really ever opens. And we've got a gold sword.
That's
one item on a Mire.
Yep, that's our first item.
Supercar trying to avoid... Oh my goodness.
That is big, and that puts Supercar in go mode.
The only thing left to find for Supercar is the big key, and Supercar's routing Mire to try to avoid the cutscene for the vanilla big key location, so he's gonna check over here on the right side first. Trying to find the big key here, but... Oh, it works! There's the big key.
Yeah, unfortunately, he can't go that way because he needs a small key now, so he's gonna have to take a little bit longer route. Or what's he doing?
Trying the big chest for the vanilla small key potentially, but this isn't guaranteed. Just doesn't want to walk over to the left side of the room. There's one small key left in chests, and it was there. Hey.
Okay. So BK after this needs to go to desert and then go straight into mire.
Yeah. That's the play for BK, but we'll see what his decision is after having, played very thorough for a lot of this time. Clearing everything in Swamp, clearing all these one-offs, which of course made tons of sense because you don't want to return to Thieves Town way back then. But this is really an important decision. I think if BK doesn't make that play, there's no chance. And even as it is, it's a significant lead for Supercar now.
And he is heading towards Skullwoods, I think, which is not a bad move because you need to clear it anyway, but my guess is he's thinking Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, and we talked about this play, it makes a lot of sense to do this. It's just, in this case, going to mean Supercar's lead is just going to grow. And there's nothing even that can help speed you up. We already have silvers, we already have, we know where Buttersword is. Supercar found it. We have boots, we have flute, we have red mail, there's not much need for many more items in this seed.
Yeah, the only other thing you might like to have is powder, but that's really it.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sure though with their health counts and red mail, both runners will feel pretty comfortable going through GT without it, but it's definitely a nice one to have, particularly when you have weaker stats going up the tower. So here comes Supercar's attack on Vitreous. We've got silvers coming out, so one shot of all the little eyes, two shots of the big eyeball. Nice accuracy sniping these eyes as they come forward, and no lightning cycles, so pretty darn good silvers fight of Vitreous from Supercar there, taking the big eyeball down and grabbing a map and the 6th crystal.
So Supercar just needs to come over to Skullwoods and clear that to get his last crystal now.
Yeah, this is going to be really fast for Supercar at this point here. BK's definitely, I think, played this seed really well. All the routing made a lot of sense. It's just that Thieves Town revisit. It's painful.
We're gonna watch BK's Mothula fight now.
Yeah, and to answer your question, Chad, about Mothula, the randomizer to deal with the fact that in the vanilla game, Buttersword does not damage Moth because it has the same type of damage as the spikes in the area. In the randomizer, Butter just does temper damage, so it's no better, but it doesn't do 0.
Yeah, one of the many fixes that they put into the randomizer to help with the quality of play.
Yeah.
Did BK not count his items here?
Could have forgotten, because it was so long ago, right? And remember as well, when BK came to Skullwoods the first time, he went and checked the vanilla big key location, even though 2 items were already found, so probably just completely forgot that there was a red rupee in here. Just you see a red rupee and you instantly forget that it was there.
Yeah, that's very true. And is he going to try to... Is he going to ped check?
I think it might be time for a ped check. Although, wait, this is just like when you're at the end of the rope. No, he's just going to flute away. He knows the ped's not needed because Turtle Rock's a pendant, and he's just looking for that cane.
Yeah.
The hero's
and he's going to go do...
Fairy.
Yep, he's doing Pyramid Fairy. Yeah, Supercar has also had just gambles paying off. He did have a section in the middle where he was searching just as much as BK was, but he's just had more gambles. Supercar's just had more gambles pay off in this seed.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think the only really slow thing, if you played this seed again, knowing the distribution of everything, Supercar would have avoided that extra dip to Eastern and Pod, but at the time it made so much sense, and unleashing the B here on Mothula. I'm not sure if the B helps or hinders in this case, but it knocks Moth around, so takes it off the spike spin. Supercar taking down that bug pretty fast.
And that will be his 7th crystal.
And well, you know what that means. Supercar is gonna be approaching Ganon's tower.
Which means... Oh, time for the big key guessing game.
Yeah, so there's 22 locations in the basement of Ganon's tower. It's always fun. Just toss your number in chat where you think the big key is gonna be. And if you've subscribed or donated 250 bits to any of the speed gaming channels, you'll be able to be entered into having your name on the leaderboard if you can guess right or guess closest. So we'll see what we get. I think today I'm gonna go with a 7 on the big key. I think the seed's been mean enough. It's not gonna put it too deep, so I'll go with 7. What do you think?
I like to just stick the same guess every time. I go 15.
All right. Just see what we get. It's always fun to watch how different people approach Ganon's tower as well, because there's a couple different routes that are all pretty similar in terms of average time going through the basement. So we'll see which one Supercar opts for. I think the most common and just slightly faster average case is to check those 2 chests on the right. You get a small key, finish checking those 4 other chests on the right, and then go left from there. But plenty of people will say, okay, I'm just going to go 2 on the right and then go left. And it all works out pretty similar over the course of 100 seeds.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
The one exception I will note is that one where you do 2 right and then check the Stalfos room on the left. That one is like a crazy gamble.
Okay, BK. I think he's gonna make. Well, he's gonna probably do desert first, and then we'll see if he goes into Mire afterwards.
Yeah, makes sense. I forgot now, but I think land mode did have an item, so.
Did, but it wasn't anything important.
Yeah.
Alright, with that, we are here at GT.
Enjoy this crystal cutscene, walk up the stairs, and then start that search.
Alright, here we go.
Okay. Hope room coming up. Just number 1, small key, that enables the right side play. Hey, you know, you got bombs plenty at the start of the seed. Here's some more. Supercar's gonna go for 2 right, and then head left. So we'll see, does the torch have it? Is one of these rooms gonna have it quickly? There's a fairy in a bottle. Honestly, not a bad choice to pick that up. I mean, hey, you have plenty of stats, but you don't have powder, so take 2 seconds and make sure you can't die.
Yeah. It's definitely not a bad pickup.
BK going with the fire rod here on Landmo. And almost grabs a 2 cycle, but just gets knocked away. His last worm will die to the spin though, so gets that in and finishes up. Grabs the blue boomerang. Ooh, how exciting. Supercar checking out the Stalfos room. Nothing good so far, just more small keys and piece of the heart. Bunch of nothing.
So I believe that's 7 so far.
That's right. Well, I guess my guess is already gone. So we'll be coming up on chest number 8 in the fire bar room momentarily. BK, well, this is looking good, is going to take the mirror portal back to the Mire area, so we'll be able to find that Kina Samaria. I want to say soon, but I mean, he's checked like everything except for Ether Tablet, pretty much, so jeez.
So we've seen 8 so far for Supercar. Next up is number chest 9 in the firebar room.
Yeah, and then we'll be getting to the randomizer room, so named because you only go into it when you're playing randomizer.
Just a map in chest 9. BK is gonna work through this room quick. This will be his 7th dungeon, so Depending on how fast he gets through Meyer, he's still significantly behind, but might still have a small chance if Supercar slips up.
Yeah, we've seen crazier comebacks for sure, especially if, you know, BK follows the right side on his way into GT and the big key's there, but it's not because it's in chest 10 and Supercar are wasting no more time. There's no more good items to find, so it's going to skip the rest of the chests in random room and head up the tower.
Yep, he has nothing else he needs to finish this seed. And so Supercar is beginning his climb through the gauntlets.
Nice strat on those mimics there, getting through pretty fast. Gets that key dash, of course. By not moving at the start of that ring, you just dash up and don't bonk the door. It's convenient. So Supercar's gauntlet will be underway shortly. Not coming into this with the best of health, just because of, you know, taking damage for speed in the bottom of Ganon's tower, basically. But does have that fairy in the bottle, so don't be too concerned overall. I do think that one fairy might be Supercar's only healing item, but I'm not sure.
Did he go grab potions before coming up here?
I have this vague memory that I saw somebody buying potions at some point, but
yeah.
actually, I really don't know.
Unfortunately, BK is taking a long route. He's gonna lose a little time here because this doesn't lead to anything.
Yeah, this is faster in the worst case when you get unlucky with the dungeon routing, and I'm sure at this point that BK is just feeling like I've gotten unlucky with everything, so let's just embrace it and grab the compass or map or whatever the heck is gonna be here.
Supercar working through the ice room here. Be on his land mole at 2 fights.
I was about to say it doesn't even stop to powder that anti-fairy, but can't. Because, well, first it's a bunny beam, and second he doesn't have powder. BK is going to grab that Kana Samaria here. See if it's a slash or two, or if it's all business. All business.
I believe BK just picked up his Kana Samaria, so he has just entered go mode.
Yeah, just needs to find that big key, which I believe is in this chest. And I think he knows it too, because this is the only chest left to check. Supercar almost getting 1 cycle on Wizards too, but does a pretty fast 2 cycle there. The only thing Supercar has to be slightly careful of at this point is not despawning the sprites in the top of GT, which can happen if you go up the stairs in the next room on the same frame as one of the torches goes out in this previous room. But if all goes according to plan, you can just kind of walk up from below and it's fine. Well, it didn't get knocked back there, but things are still a-okay.
And Supercar completely ignoring chests.
The only thing that would be nice to find at this point is, you know, like a piece of heart for a refill would be pretty good. But Supercar has that fairy, so probably not going to be feeling too bad. He's going to opt to refill the magic here. Here's 1 slash on Moldorm 2, and a dash into it, and there goes the worm. Forgot to switch to the hookshot though, so we've got to wait for the explosion at that menu.
Yeah, and he's completely ignoring everything. If he can get to the Aga 2 fight, he can get a fairy before he goes into Ganon.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there is already 1 bottled, so Supercar might not be worried about it. And BK makes short work of Vitreous there, also not getting any lightning shot, which is pretty good. His health was pretty low going in there, but that's the 7th crystal for BK, so he's got to make his way to Rando Room as fast as he can. But here's Supercar already on Aga 2. in one hit in there and trying to make the best of these patterns. Oh, that was close. Down to 1 heart, but has that fairy, so it's not going to be feeling too bad. Lines up a double there. Aga getting pretty low on health. And with this last spin, not quite, but gets the shot from Aga. It's down.
Alright.
Farming that bonk counter.
So let's see if Supercar does elect to go grab that fairy before going down.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Well, BK has finished off his Vitreous. He's going to go up to GT. He needs Supercar to make a big error here. And nope, he is just going to go straight into the Ganon fight.
Yeah. At this point, though, it would take multiple deaths or multiple falls from Supercar for BK to have a chance. But, I mean, crazy things have happened, but I think that Supercar has this one in the bag with the gold sword. Ganon's pushing phase 2. There's 1, and is even going to cape with half magic. So phase 2 is over, and be onto the teleports too.
I want to say I have seen crazy things. Like I saw one race yesterday where we had there was an unfortunate thing. It wasn't restreamed. We had a racer who he finished Ganon and walked north too early.
Oh my gosh. I'm so afraid of doing that myself. I've never done it, and I hope to never do it.
Yeah, and unfortunately that did decide the race.
Oh no, dude. But Supercar doing good on Ganon here. Only has 1 heart, but like we said, still has that fairy. Didn't take any damage during the first 3 phases of Ganon. We didn't find those arrows in the light world, so Supercar gonna be grabbing that torch glitch here, and then it's just 4 silver arrows, and Ganon's gonna be down. There's 1. 1 for number 2, and we'll have to relight the torch for a brief pause. Not letting Ganon fire any of these fire bats. There's arrow 3, and coming up with the last shot.
Ooh! Takes that last second hit, but does have that fairy.
So that doing some good work. In a way, being on 1 health with a fairy is a lot safer on the last phase of Ganon, because you don't get knocked back when you die. You can't fall off. There's the last stun, 1 more arrow, and there goes Ganon.
Alright, and as soon as he crosses the door, we will get his official time.
Yep. BK is deciding for a pretty conventional GT route, and we'll be going through these right side chests, which unfortunately does not lead to the big key, but not a bad call. And we'll now see Supercar finishing with an official speed racing TV time of 1:42.26. GG.
We're going to see if we can get him in here for an interview. There's the last bottle.
Well, we found them all. BK will be picking up this guaranteed small key here because, well, if you don't take this, it can burn you. It's possible to be run out of keys and be forced to either get that key from Tyler Room or come back and get this. BK passes up on that fairy, says, nah, I don't need it. Turned out to be a great decision for Supercar to get it, but BK's got lots of health entering GT now, so he's probably feeling fine. Might still have a blue potion as well. I know Supercar used that blue potion on Gold's there. I think BK is still holding on to it. So we will hear from Supercar in a little bit. Just they need to get their mics set up, and then we'll get to get their thoughts on this seed.
It's definitely been an adventure of a seed here. And, I mean, 142 time on this seed is pretty good.
Yeah, the start of this was just completely brutal. There's some nice routing they had available to them later in the game, and I think as well deciding to go into fire before checking all of the overworld was a great call here. But, man, the start was rough.
So BK gonna head to the firebar room chest, and then should head to the randomizer room chest and get his big key.
I do believe we are joined by Supercar now, so hey, how's it going? GG.
Hey, thanks.
That was pretty well played on that seed. Turned out the big play that put you in a great position was getting that Titansmith from Deepstown, which BK opted out of.
Okay, yeah, I felt pretty good about finding that. I felt pretty bad about finishing Thievestown. I don't really know why I did that other than just inertia and overcommitment to it. But yeah, I definitely felt like I was ahead as soon as I found that mid.
Yeah, I think a good moment that showed how the seed went for you was like, I don't know, it was at 120 or something like that, when then you finally had to go check Ice Rod Cave because you had never ran into like a bad situation with your running before that, which is really cool.
Yeah, I only needed one item for go mode, and it would have been really embarrassing if that item had been in an unchecked Sphere Zero location, so I went there before going to Mire. Just to potentially save myself that embarrassment.
Yeah, that was pretty nice. So what were you thinking, you know, having the cane as your go mode? Was that a bit of a relief, like knowing that Pendant Turtle Rock was definitely not required?
Yeah, it was nice not to have to bother with Turtle Rock, but on the flip side, I was feeling pretty goofy about having completed those pendant dungeons I didn't really need to complete. And so I was kind of hoping, well, if the bow is on pedestal, that could justify that decision. But I'll take this result.
Yeah. Speaking of that bow location, Ice Palace was crazy with the lamp, the fire rod, and then the bow in it. Holy smokes.
Yeah, I mean, both fire sources in there. It made some things inconvenient until that dungeon was done with.
We were really wondering, like, when is the next progression going to show up? Like, they've done quite a lot. Like, there's nothing at all in Swamp, you know? Go to Eastern Pod, you get nothing on the first pass because, hey, everything's nice.
Yeah, we were noticing like 48 minutes in, and your item menus, trackers, just seem really empty.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It was kind of a backloaded seed.
So with that win here, you're 2-1 in this tournament now, so that's a nice record so far. Are you looking to think you're going to get to bracket, or just going to kind of see how it goes as the weeks go on?
I'm not ready to make any bold predictions. I mean, it is only one loss so far, but it was a pretty big time difference on that loss, so I'm going to manage my expectations, not get too cocky.
Yeah, there are a lot of good players in this tournament. And the races, man, it's rando, so it's crazy what can happen in any given one, that's for sure. It was definitely really well played this seed. Like, your routing was solid. The only, I think, hiccup anywhere was the Ice Palace bomb jump, which you got immediately and then fell, and it's like, oh no.
Yeah, it was one of those things where your hookshot looks like it's got a clear path, but then it catches on just that one little block to the side, and I got pretty tilted right then. Oh, there was a weird spot where I was trying to mirror to Desert Palace, only I picked the wrong spot, and I got trapped outside of my own portal. That was a weird one.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that you didn't ear bonk. Like, that must have been a pretty perfect spot to actually let you stand there, but also not jump down. It's like, oh no.
Yeah.
Come save me, duck. Nice, we got BK finishing up Old Arm 2 there, and drops almost all of his bombs off the edge because he also didn't change the hookshot. Grabs a piece of heart, but unfortunately no heart refill at the top of the tower. Though I think he still has that blue potion, so he's probably okay.
Oh yeah, I haven't tuned in. I guess I'm allowed to do that now.
Yeah. You can see your own stream from a while ago. First sword, about 16 minutes. honestly not too bad, but what were you thinking of kind of early on in the seed? Like, you got a lot of nothing up until 2 items in Kakariko, then it was a bit stingy. Like, there was a lot of Dark World exploration you guys did that didn't yield very much.
Well, what I kind of felt was that even though there wasn't a lot of items, there were items that seemed to open up a lot of locations. So there were lots of choices about where to go, and it felt like no matter which way I went, I was worried I was skipping something. I usually like it a little more linear than that, but yeah, that's what I was thinking. That was my reaction to the scene for like the first hour or so.
Yeah. Well, your routing definitely worked out pretty well. Like, you didn't have to waste too much time here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Swamp House was sure a bust this seed, though. It made so much sense to go there, and then it was like, here's more rupees in every single chest.
Yeah, that was definitely a disappointment, because, I mean, getting swamped pretty early, you're like, all right, treasure trove, and it didn't pan out that way.
Alright, so here comes BK jumping into the Ganon fight, only at 2 health, but with half magic, and probably that potion still sitting around is probably not going to feel too bad. Might just opt for, I mean, like you did the cape through phase 2, and is going to switch to it right away. Oh no, it gets caught by the trident, but I mean, if you're going to die, you might as well die immediately to Ganon, because you can just jump right back in.
Yeah, that's not the worst death there, just to get some health refilled at least. Yeah, this fight's gonna go very fast. Both runners got the gold sword, so makes this a lot easier. Now, BK is down to 4 hearts, so he'll probably burn that blue potion somewhat soon.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't hug Ganon, he'll be okay. So might wait, see if he gets hit by a fire bat once more before doing it. Or might, you know, not need to switch to it at all. Oh, gets a fire bat on the 3rd hit of phase 3, but is able to dodge and stick to Ganon still, so gets into phase 4, switching to those silvers in just 4 more shots. And down Ganon will go.
Who misses that first sword slash, and torches going out isn't a big deal here.
Yeah, some people will intention. Oh my goodness, he got a triple. Wow, that was amazing. That looked like some kind of bow dash action, but he was just, I don't know what was going on there, but there goes BK finishing up with an official Speed Racing TV time of 1:52.56. GG to him.
Well, I think we'll get him in here for an interview. Let's see. That's kind of a surprising collection rate, because it felt like he collected a lot more than 154.
Yeah, that's true. I guess, you know, not having the, whatever it is, 10 chests in Turtle Rock counting up, and the Ganon's Tower only having to check 10 rather than 20 or something helps knock it down a bit. But pretty much every other dungeon got cleared.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we saw, every dungeon full cleared, except Turtle Rock, which nobody ever had to go into.
We see all too much of Turtle Rock in other races, so hey, we get to take a break from it once in a while.
It looks like we are going to get BK in here in just a minute. I'd usually like to just take a little break after a long race like that.
Yeah, that's for sure. 2 hours of slugging away with a steed like that.
We have BK now joining us in chat. GG.
Thanks. This was a pretty interesting one. But I had felt for a long time that I was really behind. Like, I think at maybe 55-ish minutes, I was sitting at still just the pendant from Hera, and that kind of felt pretty bad.
So, yeah, the big deciding factor in this race was probably those Titans mitts. Supercar full cleared Thieves Town in his first trip in, while you elected to just clear the front half and then dip out.
Yeah, so I had kind of thought about it, and I was like, if I get 2 or less items in the front, I'll do all of Thieves Town, and I got 3. So I left. And, well, we all know how that went. So, I don't know. It's fine. Sometimes I played the odds, and it didn't work out in my favor. But no big deal.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid routing choice. Like 3 in the first 4, and it's a pendant. You're like, do I really want to spend 2 minutes to get 1 item when I have so much in the overworld? The answer is not this time, but it was the Titans bit.
Yeah, it was like I had just come out of doing Hera, and that had nothing. So I was like, I don't know that I want to stay in another pendant, even though we didn't really have, like, they didn't really give us a lot of direction this seed. Just like it was like a handful of like, okay, you can go to the Dark Worlds, but you can't do much, or you can't finish anything. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, you were definitely pretty starved on crystals that you could actually do anything for a while, and it finally gave you, it's like, oh look, Swamp Palace, a completable crystal, you can go here and get nothing.
Yep. That one felt bad.
What'd you think about Ice Palace there, though?
Ice Palace was pretty good this time. You know, both fire sources and a bow. So, I mean, I think I went pretty much as soon as I had access. Like, I got bombos, and I think I immediately went. So it was all right. You know, I'll take that decision to the bank this time. But
yeah, I think after you went through the logical process of eliminating everyone off location and then going back to Thieves Town, you followed a pretty good straight line to the finish, like just getting your crystal dungeons, getting your progression, and then the seed had its last gasp with Kane and Meyer to mess with you at the end, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I had actually like thought about all the places that Kane could be while I was like full clearing the rest of the like the things that you would have to do anyway. Like Pod and Eastern and then Desert, and I'm like, if I go to Meyer, it's like a 2 out of 3 chance that the Kane was there. And then I saw Butter Sword, and I'm like, okay, now it's a 50-50, and that felt pretty bad. But it was there or Ether Tablet, I think. I think that was the only other thing that I hadn't done.
Yeah, I think you managed to clear everything else aside from, of course, the unrequired Turtle Rod, which I guess in this case was hiding like Fetch Quest City with the shovel and the powder, probably.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't think... Let's see. I saw Red Meringue, but I didn't pick it up. I saw Quake, but I didn't pick it up. I almost did.
And then it was like, oh, wait. Don't need this.
Yeah. I like needed to save as much time as I could at that point. I knew I was behind after the Titans mitts. I was worried it was going to be Zora, because I had fake flippered, and I got hammered, and I'm like, oh, great. Like, that means, like, one, flippers are probably early, but if mitts are, like, I don't know, if mitts were somewhere, I would have been able to do a lot of Death Mountain right off the bat.
Yeah. Being a little short on money for Zora when you did fake flippers was kind of a pain, too, in the end, because, of course, you had to go back up there and check it, because you're not going back to Thieves Town before everything else is gone, that's for sure.
Yeah. I was going to farm up the money when I went to Mini Moldorm, and I went to like, I'm so like kind of like accustomed to trying to use the hookshot for movement now, and I looked at the bush and I instinctively pressed the hookshot button and it stunned the bush crab, and I couldn't pick up the bush, so I'm like, oh great, well there goes the money that I would have had for Zora.
Oh man.
So that was a pretty big blunder early on, but I don't know. I thought I laughed pretty hard at that one.
It was pretty good. I mean, the bush just like moves over. Like you're supposed to pull yourself to the bush, but it knocks it away because it's got a grab under it. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I don't know if anyone else caught it in chat, but I'm gonna rewatch later on, I think, and hopefully we'll kind of see. I'll still get a good laugh out of it.
Yeah, well, GG, dude. It was a pretty fun race. The mids sucked, but you know, I think you played pretty solid overall, and it's good stuff.
Yeah, I think it was just like that one. Like I don't even know that it was a bad decision. I think it was just like
it wasn't a bad decision. It made perfect sense. Like especially with 3 items there, it's like it's a big investment for just one more. But when you know, sometimes it'll get you. Sometimes it'll save you 3 minutes, and sometimes it'll lose you 10.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely one of those seeds where, you know, I feel like it's what comes down to in a lot of seeds. You're making good decisions, it's not the right decision. Yeah, it's one of those dichotomies in these seeds. Like, you can either make, I mean, there's the difference between the good decisions and the right decisions, and what can you do about it?
yeah, not much today, but I don't know. I can't be upset about this one. I thought I played fine. Couple like little blunders here and there on execution, but for the most part, it was relatively good. Except escape. Bomb escape is very bad.
Oh man.
I wasted 7 bombs on the rat.
Oh yeah, we
and then I proceeded to die. Like.
Yeah, I think we all felt bad about that. We saw you just running around trying to get to that rat.
I'm just really glad that you had a bomb left to get the gloves from the back there, because that would have been the true darkest timeline if you had to skip that, because the rat ate all your bombs.
I think BK had a little issue with his mic. He's getting that fixed up right now.
Check. Am I on?
Yep, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it just disconnects. I have no idea why. But yeah, the rat was pretty bad. I just kind of threw the last one as a Hail Mary, and I wasn't even aiming at the right rat after the first like couple bombs. So I'm kind of glad I threw that one, and just it happened to hit.
Yeah, that's the worst. Like, you get the 3 rats there, and the key rat runs out of its default location, and then you see 2 rats when you catch up to it, and it's like, oh no.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I was stressing a lot at that point, because the first half of my bomb escape was pretty good. Like, I didn't take a lot of damage. I think I used exactly 4 bombs or 5, whatever you have to, like whatever the minimum is to kill everything. And then I got a bomb drop, or bombs in the chest.
Yeah, like Zelda's chest had it, yeah.
Yeah. And then that felt pretty, yeah. So that felt pretty good. I was really happy, and then the rat happened.
Yeah, that rat.
But, I don't know.
Yeah, that rat sucks. It's like, it has so many different things it can do. Sometimes it'll just sit there and die, and sometimes it'll run straight at you and be the worst. Yeah,
it's just like it doesn't stop for enough time for you to like place the bomb, and it has to run away at the last second. So you have to like either throw it and hopefully time that right, or just get lucky and have the bomb or have the rat like run in a corner. Like if you get it in that left pocket sometimes, that'll be pretty good.
Yeah. Well, it was a great race to show why everybody dislikes the bomb escape, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. It's neat. I'm glad it's in there because it makes it interesting. Like sometimes standard, at least in the previous iterations, you kind of like it's like 6 minutes of exactly the same thing, and now you kind of have to think through what you're doing for the most part, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, it's pretty fun stuff. So, what would you say your favorite escape weapon is?
Let's see. I think I've only played a handful of seeds on the new standard, and the only stuff that I've gotten is bow, burna, and bombs. I don't think I've gotten anything else. Oh no, I got. Nope, that's right. Yeah, bow, burna, and bombs. So of the three, definitely bow.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, GG guys. Well played, both of you, on this race, and congrats on winning Supercar.
GG.
Yeah, GG Supercar.
Wish you guys best of luck in your future races in this tournament. This one was fun to watch. I'll try to catch some more of yours if I can. And it's been a pleasure commentating with you, GP. It was a fun time.
Yep, definitely a good race to watch. Good to work with you as well. Also, thanks to our tracker, Cassidy Moen.
Keeping us honest and catching all those little things that we were trying to look at out of the corner of our eye. But thanks to everybody as well for watching. We'll probably be wrapping this one up here soon, but if you're itching for more rando, you can pretty much go to any other speed gaming channel because there's a lot of other races tonight.
Yeah, looking just for tonight, we actually have a couple more races for tonight. Speed Gaming 5 and 3 currently have races going on, as well as ALTTP Randomizer 3. Just starting also just on Speed Gaming 1 is another race, and then we have another race also starting at the top of the next hour. It's 11 o'clock, which actually Sigma looks like he's going to be jumping over for.
Yeah, so I get to rest my voice for about an hour, and then I'll be back with that one. So hopefully I'll see you guys there, and probably hang out with the chat on SG1 with you for a little bit while we watch the other rando action. So it's been a pleasure, guys, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a good night, everybody.